Hello and welcome back everybody to our Imperial Japanese campaign in Hearts of Iron 3 that Black Ice mod. Today we are going to have a look at army organization structures and how to best put our army into the field and what we can do with the stuff that we've got. So let's have a look. We have two theaters as far as I can see right now. That is the Quantum Theater Shiraibu and that is the Daihone. I'm so sorry, I can't speak Japanese, so this one needs a new name. Let's call it Pacific Theater. Yes, that's a sensible name. Call this one Mainland Theater. Yes, and wait, what here? No. Alright, this thing is not the Kwantung army, but it's the Manchuria Army Group, or let's call it instead Army Group Manchuria. Group Manchuria. So and in this Army Group Manchuria, we surely need some armies. So everybody here will be organized into armies. Right now these are corps, and it's better to have corps under the command of an army commander, because every commander in the field will give us some bonuses. So let's have a look at this from the bottom up. For example, this thing over here. This is a division set up the way that, just like we discussed last time. We see Division HQ, that's the unit with the number 7 over there. We see an infantry battalion with mixed support, artillery, recon cavalry, and an engineer. So these are good for river crossing and overall combat in the field. So they should be able to, let's say, attack Beijing or cross the river from Xuanhua into Zhoulu. They should be able to do this. If we have a look at terrain, these are plains, some hilly area over here, so they should be employed to storm into Jinan. They could do this. This hilly terrain, it would be a bit tricky for them. For this kind of terrain, you should better use light infantry. Do we have some of these? They are specialized light infantry. Yeah, you could employ them, for example. They even have mountain warfare artillery equipment, so they would be really suited for the hilly kind of warfare. Let's have a look. So we have mountainous area and hilly area over here, so it would be best to put our light infantry on the, from our view, right flank, and the regular infantry on the left flank. Because the left flank, although it is right from this point of view, but if we would be in marching order, this would be our left flank. They have equipment for river crossing and stuff, and they have equipment for fighting armies in the field, while light infantry has all the stuff you need for mountain warfare and even desert. I don't think we are going to enter these areas. They should be inaccessible anyway. So when we have such divisions like our number 4 over there, or number 7, yeah. This division should have a commander, and the commanders look like these. You have a large list, and let's unassign everybody just for the last of every commander has a skill level. The higher the better, because these are multipliers for the individual traits over here. So and everybody has a rank. These are generals from 1 star to 4 stars. And then, of course, there's the need for the individual trait. So you have, for example, the standard trait, Japanese General. We are a major power in this war, so this alone gives us a +1 experience gain. So this level 5 general gives +5% experience gain. Also, he has a medal. Medals only affect his very own unit. So offense plus, what is this, 5%? Yeah, there you go. Also, there are different traits for certain other things. For example, defensive, offensive, trickster, surprise chance, engineer. These traits influence his own unit, and its bonuses are passed down the command chain. For example, if we have somebody in the mainland theater, we should here employ somebody who has a logistic ability. What is this? Logistics. Yeah, like him. Ida Tsuguto. Yeah, why not? Even better, Umeta Shunma. So, these traits he has, logistic traits, means less reduced supply consumption and more defensive capabilities. These abilities will be shared by any unit under his command. So in a lesser degree, the army group of Manchuria will share this trait. And for them, let's pick like this trait. So here we have kind of the same guy again, and he has kind of the same traits. So these traits are passed down the command chain again and shared by the army and every unit under its command. And for the army, we should pick somebody who is pretty capable. That would be a good idea. So for attack and river crossing. So for the heavy impact over here, we should pick somebody who actually can command river crossings, and that would be clearly Yamashita. And if we go to the individual corps, we should pick pick guys with really strong traits, because they are really providing the major benefits for the individual units under their command. So, like Ishiwara would be a pretty able guy with offensive and surprise. So let's pick him. And for the individual unit, we should pick how to put it, units with some capability. For example, this is going to be a river crossing army, so let's pick river crossing. And this will decrease the organization, and over time this organization will increase again to its usual strength. So it's a good thing that we do this like a year before the campaign actually starts. I will go and organize every single unit under a core of its own. Under a unit of its own, I will rename things, so just the way you saw it. I mean, I can't live with 3 Homagun. That confuses me to hell. I can't speak Japanese, and I'm very, 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 very sorry for the butchery I'm going to do to this wonderful historic Japanese order of battle, but I can't live with it, so excuse me here. However, one thing we should keep in mind also is what are we actually trying to do with our army. So we are March, yeah. We in 15 months the war with China is going to start, give or take. So we should think about what kind of war we are actually willing to fight with China. Well, what is our overall strategy? I'm not even thinking about USA and stuff next, because the Republic of China is the fortress we need to take to actually be able to fight America. We can't fight both of them, because doing that broke the Japanese Empire down. So let's have a look at the battle plan editor, shall we? So we have historic battle plans. Let's take these. The invasion of China. So this is what they historically did. They had the invasion of Shanxi. They tried to take communist China, but they couldn't. They advanced south and took Wuhan in less than a year, but in December their line was stuck over here and they couldn't really advance any further. So they've taken a large chunk of Chinese territory. They even invaded by sea. Oh, excuse me. This is 1939, so it actually did take them 2 years. They invaded in 1937 and pushed into Shanxi, took Beijing and large parts of Shandong, so that's the province capital of Jinan, and they couldn't really advance any further. So after like 6 months they were stuck here. They had taken quite a nice position, but they really needed to advance, and to have that they started some naval invasions, for example to the port of Qingdao and over here at Liangang to cut the Chinese supply off. This actually did work. They were able to push their frontier, the front further. They also launched actually 2 invasions into what's it called? Their capital, Nanjing, over here, and tried to establish another point, another foothold, and to push further, which they did. This is the line of end 1938. Also they took ports near Formosa, that is today's Taiwan. Also they invaded the south with several expeditions which didn't get anywhere, to be honest. They took some ports. They just tried to starve China out, to disable all international trade, but as you see, this didn't get anywhere because opposition was just too strong and their forces were basically scattered. So they did take another offensive in 1939, but there were some territorial gains, but they couldn't crush the Chinese army here either. And these are the campaigns from 1937 to 1940. 1940 they took Indochina, and that was that. No progress here in China itself. So if we take a look, what is this Ichigo? That's operations in the very end of the war. Operation Mai, I don't think, no, that's naval operations. Let's put them. Pacific operations, very interesting, but nothing here in China. Pacific operations part 2 and the Philippines. yeah, that's more of the same. So, and Ichigo then again was the last attempt to actually crush China, to link up these two parts of the army. They did manage to establish a small corridor, but although China was cut in two, they couldn't crush them because they were facing too strong opposition. So let's think about what this actually tells us. We should really focus. We should really go and focus our intention on one small object and try everything to fulfill this objective. And step by step crush the Chinese army before serious opposition can actually form into a solid front line. So what we are going to do is called the Shanxi, the 1937 Shanxi Shandong campaign. I'm calling it this way because it's supposed to be an operation that reaches basically this river line here. That's what I'm trying to do in the first, let's say, 3 months. That would be a good indicator. Shanxi, this is this province over here, the green thing. We need to take HOI3 and Taiyuan itself, which would then result in the collapse of the Shanxi faction. Let's draw a front line over here, because this is the starting point. And let's call this, let's paint it blue. This thing here, let's paint it blue. Oh, come on. This thing here, let's paint it blue. Thank you. And let's indicate that we are going to attack here. And let's paint this yellow. So that is my basic objective, to reach to reach this river line over here. Oh, this may be a bit too ambitious. Let's just say we want to do this. Let's just be careful. This thrust alone will not suffice to achieve our aims. I don't think that we can go for a full frontal assault against Beijing without weakening the back of the front first. So what we need to do is an invasion, a naval invasion. But naval invasions are tricky. You need to be sure what you want to invade and why exactly you want to invade this territory. For example, taking seaports here with the idea of, yeah, we are basically cutting the international supply lines of China. That's a good idea on the paper, but we can cut their supply lines by navy. Yeah, so we don't need to send out small forces to face large opposition. We can just say, let's put our ships here and nothing is going to come through. That's a working plan just as well. So we could also say, yeah, let's take their capital quickly. That will make their supply of resources collapse. But what then? They will relocate their capital, and we're still fighting the war, and we have some isolated units over here that haven't been able to link up. Even our modest plan over here says the first year won't see us reaching down into Jinan and this territory. I don't think that we actually want to take it with force. We're gonna take it if we can, but not with force. So let's play a modest game. that is ambitious anyway, and we are going to do a naval invasion of Shandong. This means that landing boats are going to appear all over this area, and from here on we are going to invade Indian Ingang, near Qingdao, and all over here. I don't think this area will be heavily fortified when it becomes clear that there is going to be war with Japan. And from here we should be able to do a good push through the border and link up. In the process we should drive back the defenders of Beijing. They should be trapped in a large pocket over here, which we should which we should paint blue, and it should not be so small. This is actually a pretty impressive pocket. And just to make sure everybody understands what's happening here, we have some Chinese infantry and some Chinese tanks actually, because they were trained by the Germans in the run-up to World War II, and they gave them tanks. Yeah, so that's what happened. Light tanks, but tanks still. So that's my basic battle plan. I think this will destroy, like, we will capture here 500,000 men. The heaviest equipment the Chinese army can muster. And we will destroy much more in the process, and we will be given an excellent line to start out a new campaign, which I guess will be the next phase when we push further south into what's this, Wuhan. That would be the region of Miyun and Anhui and Jiangsu. So Jiangsu, that's the storming of Nanjing, will happen in a larger campaign on the whole front, basically. Over the river, of course. That will be another river crossing campaign. Maybe I'm gonna make use of invasions again. I'm not quite sure yet, but we are gonna see. We are definitely gonna see. So, that's what I'm planning to do next. Also, I have there will be a large air force here in Port Arthur called Dalian. So Air Force is going to assist us in the whole campaign. Let's paint it yellow because it is. Air Force all over the map. And I am expecting large clashes here. Maybe there's going to be a pocket, a small one, that I'm gonna destroy. I will push the defenders back, but I will trap them somewhere. So I expect large clashes here, here, and here. And here. So this will not just happen like this. I need to mention another thing that is pretty important, because although China is at civil war with its different factions, they will unite to a coalition front, and they will send. There can be. They will send reinforcements in blue. So these reinforcements need to be stopped at this riverline before they can actually contribute to the campaign in Beijing. So this riverline needs to be taken quickly. So the kind of force I'm going to employ here in Shandong, that's going to be cavalry mostly, and for the riverline I need, let's say, 2 infantry corps. And for the assault on Beijing, or the province of Hebei, I need some strong force to actually pull this one off. This is ambitious. Let's see if we can actually pull this off, because this is going to be a challenge since China has been buffed since I last played it. This was my battle plan the last time, and in 3 months' time we should crush the bulk of the Chinese army, and then it should be a struggle of not uphill but downhill. So that would be my Shanxi Shandong campaign. Next video I'm going to save this plan, of course, and I will now turn this video off to reorganize and rename my army, because this is dead boring for you to watch me bungling here and thinking and say, oh, what am I going to do here? So I will just do this by my own and show you what I have come up with next time. So I will now go reorganize my army, and we will take it off from here in preparations for the upcoming campaign. What we need to do, what we can actually do to improve everything we've got. So thanks for listening in. What do you think of my battle plan? Is this too ambitious, or is this thinking on a very low scale? What would you suggest instead? And please bear in mind, I want to do this with the forces I have available. I'm not going to build like 3 tank corps or something. So if you have any suggestion or any feedback on my basic campaign planning, feel free to comment in the section below. And if you don't think I can pull this off, let's wait and see, because I'm not sure if this version of BlackICE really allows me to do this. Thank you for listening in, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time.